All right, it's 9:30. Good morning and welcome to the last MAGFest panel ever.
Of 2018 in National Harbor.
In this specific room.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. God, that would be really embarrassing if someone came in after us like, yeah, we're starting our next panel. Like, oh, man.
Oh, sorry, didn't you hear? They all ended.
Every single one of them.
So we're here to talk about Pokemon and things that are unsettling or unanswered about the franchise.
Or answered because...
Answered poorly.
Answered poorly.
We are not just, we're not going to be talking about the anime because that thing is a paradox unto itself. We might reference it now and then, but not going to bother solving the mystery of why Ash Ketchum is still 10 years old. The reason is marketing, and none of that other stuff.
Yeah, pretty much everything that we're going to be talking about can be found in the games, specifically the Pokedex, because...
There's plenty of stuff there.
You would think that it was written by a 10-year-old with the amount of bizarre statements and questions that there are still... It's been 20 years.
Yep.
And...
Usually, instead of answering some of the disturbing questions that they've put out, they just introduce more. And yeah, it is almost like the Pokedex was written by a 10-year-old.
Imagine that.
Who would send a 10-year-old to go write an encyclopedia about every living thing on Earth? I don't know.
No.
I mean,
that's just a choice.
Game Freak has an awesome sense of humor in case you're not paying attention to every little detail they put in their games. They're very funny people and they're very weird. Do you want to start with the categories?
Sure. So the first thing that we always talk about at this panel is the technology that exists in this bizarre micro-universe.
Normally we would have a picture of the inside of a pokeball.
Because
right
we
here.
all know what those look like.
Everybody remember what the inside of a pokeball looks like? It's covered in weird mirrors whose purpose we never know. I think those are mirrors. I'm looking at it right now.
They sure look like mirrors. What they don't look like is any sort of space that you could stuff a living creature.
That's right. They sure don't. They don't look comfortable. They don't what are those reflective things on the inside? What do? Do they help the Pokemon see the outside world? Is the Pokemon in stasis? Is it aware of everything that's going on?
I mean, in the books and in the TV show, you get to see inside of them, but really it just looks like they shrank down to about this big and they're just looking at the world through a giant dome.
Yeah, the manga has them like that. The manga has it so that the Pokemon can see everything, and you can see a tiny version of them when you look down at your Pokeball. The anime is still kind of a mystery. The games are definitely a mystery.
Yeah. Apparently, they have to have some sort of awareness because they're able to pop out at their leisure.
Yeah, they do that in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon a couple times. But you don't know that because you're too lame to play the game.
Thanks. So, given that, we know that they're aware inside the Pokeball. But...
Yes?
I mean, the implications of that are that they know everything that's going on in the world outside them. They just live in their little bubble, and they just stay there.
Well, they can pop out at their leisure, but at the same time, they can't escape them when you throw them at them. These things are little prison balls. You are walking through the forest, you see a Caterpie. Caterpie was out there gathering berries for his little Caterpie family. He's on his way back home. You attack him by forcing a rat to electrocute him. He fights you with every fiber of his being, trying to defend himself and his future against your 10-year-old whims. And he loses, and you throw a ball at his face. And the ball shakes a few times, and he can't get out. And then it goes, ding! And then you let him back out again, and he's like, yeah, let's go, boss. What family? What life?
I may have just been trying to fight you tooth and nail to get away from you in the past, 5 seconds. But no, we're best friends now.
My experience in that ball, everything's different now.
What happened to you in there?
You'll never know. Whether or not these things are capable of brainwashing, or whether or not those mirrors mean anything, or whether or not we ever know how they take an organic being and turn it into red light and keep it alive inside the little capsule, that doesn't really matter. These are amazing pieces of technology. This is beyond anything our world is capable of even dreaming of. And they cost $1 at the Pokemart, and anyone can buy them. How does this work?
Follow up, because you just mentioned that they get transferred, they get turned into energy and then put in these little balls. But there's another step after that.
Yeah. Once you have 6 of them, you can't carry more than that. So what happens to number 7 and beyond?
What goes into my computer?
What?
No, see, I took this little ball and I hit that fish with it.
Okay.
And when the ball stopped shaking, presumably because the fish died, it just kind of vanished. And then I looked at my hard drive later, and there was a little dot that said the fish that I had caught was on my computer now.
How did you put a fish on your hard drive?
I didn't. It just sort of happened.
But there it is.
Yep, there it is, right there on my computer for me to poke at and move around and switch with another ball that's on my belt. Just gonna take this ball and cram it into the monitor until I get the other one.
If Pokeball technology is confusing, the PC is inexplicable.
So
the PC turns Pokemon into Digimon.
Yeah,
without
fun fact,
any explanation.
Pokemon was Digimon before Digimon was Digimon.
Don't
Think
open that
about
debate.
that.
Don't. If anybody disagrees with that statement, be quiet.
So we already asked if they're aware inside the Pokeballs, and we sort of came to the conclusion that yes, they are aware of things that are going on around them because they're able to pop out at a moment's notice, which they couldn't do before when they were trying to escape, but whatever. So are they aware in the computer?
We've never gotten anything even close to an answer there. Except now the computer turns into Pokebelligo.
Right, so instead of being transported to my hard drive, this stranger in a
strange old man with a potbelly.
Strange old man with a potbelly just shows up and takes all of my Pokemon and whisks them away to this weird little island chain.
Which is apparently in a different dimension. That's way better, right? That makes so much more sense. At least now we know they're aware of things and you can send them into the mines to look for rocks for you.
Yeah, because that
has no
weird.
implications.
It's not weird or anything, forcing them into the mines where anything could happen.
Yeah, and when this strange man approaches you and explains that your PC is going to turn into an alternate dimension archipelago full of wonderful places where you can enslave your Pokemon to farm and mine for you.
And beans for days.
Your answer is, great.
I mean, we can only presume that that's your answer because you never actually say anything.
Yeah, but that's just an
That's a whole nother. So, I mean, the Pokepelago was a nice addition to the game. It made everything a lot more cutesy and fun, and it
made
gave
people
you
feel slightly less guilty about putting their Pokemon on the PC for the rest of their lives.
But instead of just dropping them onto the internet where terrible things could happen,
oh God,
instead we just put them in Alcatraz.
It's tropical Alcatraz.
It's still jail.
Not if you send them to the hot spring to chill.
There are baths in jail.
These are good baths. But how did they get there?
Again,
No.
I just sort of threw a ball at this fish and then it disappeared and it's on my computer, but it's also at the island. Mm-hmm. Because you can just pull that out at any time.
Pokemon technology is amazing. This must come from a utopian society that has no wars or any other reason to spend any money or resources on anything but Pokemon and perhaps food for humans.
Well, the humans are really sort of second string to the Pokemon. Literally
yes.
Everything in the Pokemon world is about Pokemon. If you have a job that has nothing to do with Pokemon, you're a dead person.
You were born into the lowest societal caste, and now you just teach children.
Oh, because those who can't do teach.
Yes.
And those who can't teach Pokemon.
Okay.
I mean, those are the biggest questions that we've come across when it comes to technology. The inside of the Pokeball is a mind eraser that you can point.
Mind eraser, pocket dimension, organic matter transverter.
And why don't they work on people?
Has anyone ever tried it? I guess.
Maybe. I mean, I can only assume that that's why there's no crime in the world.
There is no. Well, no, there's crime syndicates.
Do they do anything?
No. They usually topple as soon as somebody.
Are they any kind of threat?
They usually topple as soon as somebody under the age of 11 sets foot in their hideout.
So there's clearly no crime, because they're night
Wait,
guard.
there's Team Skull. There's crime. They steal bus stop signs.
Oh no, not the bus stop sign. Whatever will I do? I guess I'll just have to get on this goat that has handlebar horns and ride that instead. Also, I don't have to pay a bus fare now.
Yeah, or you could just fly on a Charizard that can hear you no matter where it is because you have a ride pager.
So I guess Charizard has a pager, which means that this must take place in the 1980s.
Oh God, no, no. This takes place in an alternate dimension where all resources have been diverted to children's activities. It's a great place.
To colorful cockfighting.
No, they like fighting.
They like fighting because I put them in the ball.
They like fighting because it's their nature or something. Okay, all right. But yeah, that's the best explanation I could come up with. This is a utopian society.
Where they have nothing better to do with their lives.
Trying to understand how the technology itself works is futile.
Because there's no explanation for it. It works because it works.
Oh, sorry.
It works because it works. It's orc technology.
Orc technology?
Yeah, orc technology.
Nerd.
That is, I'll explain that to you later.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll make sense once I explain it. Thank you. It's a whole nother conversation. So the technology is terrifying, but what's more terrifying than technology?
Ghosts.
Dead stuff. Except in this world, the dead stuff can talk directly to you, and probably might be you at some point.
And ghosts are just around all the time in everything, waiting to eat you.
So there's no afterlife.
Yeah, there is no afterlife. There's just Pokemon.
Because just a quick
here
poll.
we would have a picture of Phantump and Yamask.
And Cubone. There's a
And
Cubone on there.
Oh, there he is, yes.
Yeah.
We have a picture of Cubone crying that everybody usually gets sad at.
How many people have read entries in the Pokedex that are specifically about ghost Pokemon? Just a quick poll. So you guys all know that Yamask is a person, right? And that it specifically says the mask it carries around bears a resemblance to what it looked like as it was alive.
And sometimes it looks at it and cries.
So
And they just casually put that in the Pokedex like, yeah, that's what happens. That's how you get a ghost Pokemon. What?
So this Yamask that I found, it's carrying a mask that looks suspiciously like my grandfather.
Well, be kind to him, and you're horrible.
How am I horrible? Just showed up one day, and then I threw a ball at it.
You knew it was a person. It says right there in your Pokedex, it's a person.
I didn't know that until after I caught it.
Read the book.
Readings for chumps.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's more than one entry in the Pokedex that's concerning, that reference the fact that ghost Pokemon used to be people.
Yeah.
That's
not the only...
There's more than zero. And that's a problem.
And that's not the only problem with ghost Pokemon. They also have a tendency to just kill people, sometimes specifically targeting children. And it's just an accepted fact in the world.
You know that cute purple balloon that your child was carrying? Yeah,
Good
so...
old Drifloon. So cute. He's got a little mouth.
Oh,
Looks
no,
like
it's
a
carrying the
Band-Aid.
child now.
Oh, no. Off into the sky.
Bye.
Bye. They're never seen again. That's just a fact about Drifloon.
Well, no, because then that kid turns into a Yamask.
Oh, right. Okay, so they will be seen again someday as a Yamask. Not to mention, if every Yamask out there is a human being, you can breed Yamask, and you can put two Yamask in the nursery together and run around in a circle until they make an egg.
We don't know where it came from.
Well, yeah, we have no idea where it came from. It was a mystery, probably because your grandfather just died.
But inside this bizarro gashapon egg is a dead thing.
Sort of. Not really, kind of. It's a dead person who's come back as a crying ghost. A crying ghost who has to spend the rest of his life taking orders from a 10-year-old.
So yeah, there's no afterlife. There's just more Pokemon.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, entire city population mysteriously drops dead. Meanwhile, somewhere at a nursery, damn, no shiny yet. Keep trying.
Actually, I hadn't thought about that before because I was thinking more about the natures. That's a lot easier to breed for.
People breed for really painful things like shiny.
Right. So a shiny ghost type?
Yep.
Is that like someone who had albinism?
People love shiny Phantump. Shiny Phantump is white with some red accents.
Oh, they love the white one better?
Okay, we're not going there. But Phantump is a Pokemon that used to be a child who got lost and died in the woods. Somebody goes breeding for a shiny Phantump. They finally get the white one, but meanwhile, 700 children wandered into the forest and got lost.
Mass migration, Pied Piper style, of children who just went into the woods and were never heard from again because their spirits were sucked out of their bodies and put into this egg.
Mm-hmm. Good times, good times. It's for kids.
And, I mean, that's okay, so that's Yamask and Phantump. That's 2 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Not all of them are specifically listed as having previously been people.
That's true. Some of them are just things that you threw out that day.
Like Bennett.
Judith.
Bennett's real mad that one time, some long time ago, a kid had a doll and didn't like it and threw it out.
And so now it needs to have revenge.
All Bennetts are that doll. All Bennetts want revenge on every child.
So if you just imagine...
So if you want to catch one and add it to your party and have it be your friend, just don't be a kid, okay?
Yeah, just don't be a kid. Or Chucky's going to get you.
Chucky. What else is there?
Let's see. Bennett, Yamask,
Okay,
Phantump,
Gengar.
Gengar.
If you feel a chill in the air, that means Gengar's around. He's probably in your shadow, and you're just going to die. That's it. Even the Pokedex itself says there is no hope. Give up. Those are its words.
There are actually quite a few Pokedex entries that say there is no hope. That's a
Really?
concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of no hope, you know what Lampent likes to do?
It likes to lure people through...
Not people.
dark-
No, that's Litwick. Lampent, it's
right.
evolution.
Litwick likes to lure people through creepy houses and suck their souls. Lampent likes to just eat things.
Lampent likes to hang out outside of hospitals and wait for people to die. And when those people die and their spirits try to go up to heaven or wherever, Lampent's like, yoink, and puts their souls into its fire and is like, ah, now I'm even brighter. Good day.
So I guess those people don't become Yamask.
I guess not. I guess they just live inside Lampent for the rest of eternity. It's a great thing to look forward to when you pass away in the Pokemon world.
For kids.
Hey.
So there are also references to other things. There are references to dead Pokemon that have nothing to do with
Ghosts?
ghost types.
Such as?
Like my lovely little Cubone.
Poor Cubone.
Cubone is born with its skull on the outside. I refuse to accept any other reasoning because what if I were to breed 800 Cubone? They can't all have their mom's skull. She's still alive.
But the Pokedex says.
The Pokedex was dumb.
But the Pokedex is the word of God. It is law.
Well, I could put God in a ball.
Yeah, see, exactly. You proved my point.
That doesn't prove anything.
Yes, it does.
So Cubone, for those of you who don't know, is this adorable little bipedal brown
Dinosaur-looking
thing.
We're not sure because you can never see its face.
And it's got a big old skull on its head. It's clearly too big for its actual head.
And it carries around bones as its weapons.
And you find out very early on that those bones that it carries around belong to its mom, who's not using them anymore because she's dead.
Except, what is the story for Marowaks who have more than one Cubone child?
What's the story for Marowaks that exist?
What do you mean?
If a Marowak exists,
Yes.
it's never allowed to have a child because it will die, presumably.
Does the Pokedex specifically say its dead mother's skull, or
It
just
does
its mother's
specifically
skull?
say its dead mother's skull.
Maybe every Cubone has two mothers, a dead mother and a living mother.
Oh, good. Pokemon buries their gays. Sorry, that's 2. I'm only allowed 3.
That's right.
And they're...
I was going to say, if Marowak was still alive when Cubone is born, maybe she can shed a skull and grow another one really, really fast before her brain falls out.
That's terrifying to imagine. Excuse me for a moment. I need to picture this, and I'm going to give you all visual representation so that you can picture it with me. Just pretend for a moment that I'm a brown dinosaur with a skull on its head. Not in its head, on its head. Here you go.
Thanks, Mom. I'm too ugly for the world to see me.
Yep. That's what that would be.
Yep. It's possible. It's completely possible. Hey, Alolan Marowak is a ghost type.
Yeah, because all of the regular Marowaks died.
Yeah, but that's how that happened. It's a miracle. It's nature.
There's no afterlife.
There's just ghosts running
There's
around.
just more ghosts.
Ghosts.
Eventually, there's going to be a region of Pokemon that is exclusively ghost types, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And no ghost type is friendly. Not even cute Gourgeist. Gourgeist just delights in wrapping up people in its arms and singing them to death.
Not sleep.
To death.
To death.
Specifically.
Specifically.
Yes. Remember how we said Drifloon likes to carry children away into the sky forever? The Alola Pokedex updated that, saying it doesn't like fat kids.
They're too heavy to carry away.
What a jerk.
And, I mean, this goes on and on and on. Frostlass freezes living people that it likes and puts them in its house as little ice sculptures.
We're going to spend forever together.
Which I guess is some sort of beautiful karmic retribution for you putting Pokemon into balls, but still.
Yeah, Frostlass doesn't start out as a ghost type either.
No, you're right.
Does Snorunt freeze to death and then come back as a Frostlass?
That is exactly what happens.
Do you touch it with what is it, a Dawn Stone?
Dawn Stone,
And
which kills
head-
Pokemon.
yeah. This is really, really morbid.
Yeah. I mean, Frostlass is based on the Yukiona, who's the woman who died in the mountains.
Well, sure, if you want to get technical about it.
So it actually does make sense that Snorunt dies and evolves into Frostlass.
Yeah, Snorunt's just based off of a freezing child.
Who then died
Wonderful.
and then decided to kill everyone it met because it's for kids.
And you can put it in a ball and it can be your friend.
It could freeze all of your friends for you so
Yeah.
you never have to leave them.
That's one thing that blows my mind. Every Pokedex entry for every ghost type talks about how dangerous they are, how unhinged they are, and how their favorite hobby is torturing people to death. Why does anyone keep one in their home? Why does anyone want one on their team? You never know when it's just going to be like, yeah, I'm bored.
And that's just the ghost types. The dead have a reason to be angry.
Yeah, if you accidentally step on Mimikyu's cloth and it just keeps walking and the cloth comes off, whoops, you've seen it. You're dead. Instant death. Which was actually beautifully animated in the Pokemon anime when Meowth got a glimpse of the afterlife after looking at Mimikyu uncovered. You get to see
Multiple
the
times.
entire process of death, including hallucinating and going toward the light before he's brought back to life by being punched. In case you were curious.
So not only are there Pokemon that will kill you for breathing, or kill you because they like you, or kill you by being close to it. There are Pokemon that will kill you by looking at them, Medusa style.
Yep. Do not ever shame Mimikyu.
No, Mimikyu is a good boy.
He's a good Pikachu. Good, better than Pikachu.
Yes. So, on that note,
we can go on
to our next topic.
What is wrong with the people in this world?
I just let that hang there for a second. Completely ignoring the fact that everyone has to have some sort of emotional or neural damage that keeps them in this world. There are some really weird aspects about people that we don't really think about in the games.
I love Professor Kukui. He's really, really cool. He's like my favorite professor ever so far, but he makes a habit every day, like it's part of his job.
It is his job.
It is his job to get hit by giant rocks, set himself on fire, and electrocute himself to be like, so that's what that feels like. I'm going to write it down. It hurts. I'm a scientific mind. And he looks great. Considering all that, he looks great.
I hear Professor Kukui has an 8-pack.
I hear Professor Kukui is shredded.
The humans in the Pokemon world seem to be a lot more durable than the humans in our world.
Especially if we go toward the anime, but again, that's
a lot of gag humor.
Yeah.
We've seen, in the Gold and Silver games.
What?
Do you remember taking on Team Rocket's hideout in the Gold and Silver games?
Yeah, those Persian statues were a pain.
Do you remember before you go to take out their hideout, you have to find it first?
Okay.
With Lance and one of his 3 Dragonites.
One of his 3 Dragonites, yes.
And he hyper beams a dude.
Lance is awesome.
Lance has no chill. You fight this guy, and after he's beaten, Lance says, "Hey, best buddy dragon friend, I want you to laser him." The guy's fine.
How?
So
Pokemon aren't fine when they get hit by that.
Either Pokemon moves are not nearly as terrifyingly dangerous as we thought they were.
And Pokemon are all wusses.
Or the people are even more terrifying than the Pokemon. This is an attack that's supposed to be able to level buildings. And my buddy, the Dragon Master here, just shot it at that dude's face.
Yikes.
I don't know what he expected to happen.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
People have superhuman powers here.
Apparently.
But they're never going to use them because they're all so happy and placated by playing Pokemon all the time.
What about the Pokemon that are people?
They don't matter anymore.
They don't matter anymore.
Except in a Pokemon sense.
So I guess
they matter for battling.
I guess at some point the line between a person and a Pokemon gets really, really fuzzy.
But everyone acts like, that's just the way things are. NPCs in the Pokemon world will spout out awful, terrifying information to you like, yeah, did you know? They say that Yamask was once a human being. What else?
Well, there are a couple of things.
I mean, this one isn't exactly disturbing, but the people responsible for breeding Pokemon are like, yeah, Pokemon make eggs. No one has ever seen how it happens.
Except for a side quest in Pokemon Platinum.
What?
You get to see an egg get created with Cynthia.
Oh, right. No, that's
I can
Arceus, isn't it?
I can only imagine that that's how it happens every time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a G-rated game, everybody, so eggs just appear when Pokemon sit next to each other, if they're in the same breeding group.
Which we have documented here for everyone to see. There are a lot of breeding groups. Not everyone can breed with everyone, but Gastrodon can breed with Gardevoir.
Yeah, I just found that out yesterday. Isn't that great? Does anyone... Yes, exactly. Does anyone know what Gastrodon looks like? Raise hands. I mean, you probably do.
It's a giant slug baby.
Yeah, it's a giant slug baby. And you remember what Gardevoir looks like.
It's a person.
It's a pretty lady. They can make babies. You thought Skitty and Wailord was bad.
Actually, if you think about it, Gardevoir has it the worst out of everyone.
Yes, Gardevoir does, and we're not going to get into why.
That's an 18 plus panel. We'll talk about that some other time.
No, we won't. Anyway, you can tell these folks anything about the Pokemon world, any of these NPCs, and they will take it as fact. They take the word of a 10-year-old as fact because every Pokedex is written by a small child sent out into the world to gather information, which makes sense on why it's so ridiculous.
Let's just throw some of our favorite ones out there. Pidgeot can fly at Mach 2
No, it can't.
with me on its back.
You would die.
No, it happened.
That's a lie.
It's in the Pokedex.
You can't prove it.
Blastoise can shoot holes through tanks.
What tanks? There's no tanks.
It could shoot holes through buildings with its cannons.
Who would do that?
Professor Kukui.
Oh, Arcanine can run, I think, 1,200 or 2,400 miles in one night. Whatever it is, it's the distance from LA to Moscow in one night.
That's faster than any jet you've ever
That
been
would
on.
break all the bones in its cute puppy body.
Sliggoo, I believe. I was looking at this one earlier today.
Oh.
It digests its food before it eats it.
Yeah, because Sliggoo is just slime. So it slowly slimes whatever it is it's going to eat. Also, Sliggoo has no brain, apparently.
It has a hard time distinguishing between friend and food.
Yeah. So Sliggoo could be like, Trainer, where are you? Is this you? Probably not. Anyway, I'm going to take 24 hours to finish digesting you now. That's in the Pokedex. Who wrote that? Somebody dead.
How do you find that out?
Yeah, how do you find that out?
I mean, there's really cute and innocuous ones like people trip over Geodude in the mountains. Yeah, because they look like rocks. That makes sense. But in those same mountains is Golbat. Golbat
Drinks its weight in blood?
It drinks its weight in blood.
I think every
at
day.
every meal. I don't know if
Golbat's
any of you
a
know
fatty.
about this. Golbat's really big. It's about 42 kilograms. And because I have nothing better to do with my life, I did the math. The amount of blood in the human body of an adult male is about 5 pints. And if you were to try and feed a Golbat
Right.
one time, it would take about 8 people.
8 people.
8 people.
Somehow the Golbat population in the Pokemon world is always thriving. They're the most common thing you encounter in high-level caves, right next to their lower evolution Zubat.
8 people.
Why do people in the Pokemon world go into caves at all?
Better question, why do people in the Pokemon world exist at all?
Why are they not extinct?
Why are the people still around? Because clearly every region of Pokemon is Australia.
Oh, so that's why there's no Australian region.
It would be completely redundant. Everything already wants you dead.
It would be so dangerous the game would probably just kill the player.
That's some creepypasta shit right there.
Yeah, no creepypastas. We're not doing that.
Golbat's Pokedex entry is my favorite one. That's why I did the math.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite new ones. This isn't exactly weird, but Ninetales leads lost people down from the mountains. It's because she just wants them to go away.
Yeah, that's not particularly unsettling or creepy or
It
anything.
even
It's
says
just
that in
really
the Pokemon,
fun.
in the Pokedex. Like I don't know. Did somebody ask a Ninetales like, "Oh, why did you save my life?" And she just answered like, "I don't want you in my house. Leave."
Let's see. Oh, the Pokedex also covers Mega Evolution.
Oh, we're gonna go right to Mega Evolution.
Might as well,
All right.
because that just popped into my head.
You remember how much they talked about Mega Evolution in Generation 6 because it was the new thing and everyone was like,
The power of friendship
Power of
unlocks a
friendship.
new level of devastation.
yes, Power of Friendship and Rocks unlocks a transformation that's totally not digivolving.
And these transformations, if you take a
Turn
look
your
at the
Pokemon
entrance,
really cool.
yeah, they look super cool. You know what else?
What?
They're in constant pain.
What? No.
Yeah.
Where did you find that out? You're making that up.
It's in the Pokedex,
Team
therefore
Plasma
it's
sent you. What?
it's in the Pokedex, therefore it's real.
What? Hey.
Judith, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Lucario.
Lucario, huh?
He has a mega form.
He does have a mega form. It's pretty
awesome.
cool, right? It
Yeah.
gets all those stripes and the really neat dreadlocks.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in agony.
It's in. Oh. I also heard that it turns him evil. It says that noble, brave Lucario, when once mega evolved, has a fighting style that can only be described as heartless.
So Lucario.
Did anyone see the anime episode where Mega Lucario loses it on Pikachu? Watch the animation just from that scene. It's pretty twisted.
First of all, it's really, really good animation.
If you
But
don't like Pikachu, then
watching
you'll really
Pikachu
enjoy it.
get batted into the stands like he's a baseball is amazing. I have that GIF on my computer.
I do like Pikachu, though.
Yeah, all of the mega evolutions, the concept that you and your Pokemon have such a tight bond and you're such good friends that you're able to unlock this new stage of power is nothing but pain.
Yeah, I have Mega Aerodactyls right here. When it Mega evolves, it becomes more vicious than ever before. Some say that's because its excess power is causing it pain.
There's no
Also-
sugarcoating that. It's just in pain.
Yep. Mega Glalie is probably in more pain than anyone else because its jaw snaps as soon as it Mega evolves. That's why it's hanging there like... It's not trying to look scary.
Every time.
If it could speak, it would just go, ow, ow. Mega Gyarados, I think, is also always in pain. But Mega Absol, who turns into this awesome Final Fantasy-looking winged doggy dude. No, don't be a nerd.
Anyway, tell me about Mega Absol.
Mega Absol's not in pain, but Absol, the Pokedex says, don't like to fight. So transforming into Mega Absol just makes it really sad.
Excuse me for just a moment. Judith, did you just say that Absol don't like to fight?
That's right.
And it has a mega form.
Yes.
Which is exclusively for fighting.
Yes. We all love Pokemon. We get along. We're best friends.
Transform into a super being and smite my enemies.
But I'm a pacifist.
Kill them.
No. You know, my species already has a very bad reputation, and maybe we shouldn't engage in
I
violence.
thought we were friends.
We are friends.
Then do it.
Okay.
So yeah, Mega Evolution is terrible. Pokemon all want you dead.
Not all of them.
There's no afterlife.
There is no afterlife.
There's no God.
Yes, there is.
No.
Arceus.
Okay, but what if...
There's a god for time and space, and there's a god for, I don't know, what is he trying
But I
to do?
could put them in my computer.
So it's a...
So therefore they don't exist in the world anymore.
No, they're in... Yeah, you're right.
They're in my computer. I've captured God.
How old are you again?
12.
Oh, that's why there's no afterlife.
There's no afterlife because there is no God because he's on my computer and I got a BSOD.
Wow. A lot of things make sense now. There's just no God.
Let's see. We covered technology. We covered death. We covered life. We covered
We covered
Pokemon.
life. It's all covered now. How much
What else was there to cover?
There's a lot of stuff. Maybe we could ask some of the
Oh, yeah.
audience.
Do you guys have any questions about Pokemon that have always been burning in your mind? I guarantee you we've thought of them. All the way in the back there, you were first.
Yes. Have you ever bred Kangaskhan? They hatch out of eggs with the baby in their pouch. That's something I used to say in this panel. People always made really sad, disturbed, squeamish faces, though. Kangaskhan is born having just given birth.
Well, actually, I learned something fairly recently. Apparently, actual kangaroos are constantly in a state of pregnancy.
In a state of pregnancy?
Yeah, when the joey is born and leaves the pouch, another one is gestating.
In the joey?
No, in the adult.
Because this is the baby that just hatched with Kangaskhan.
Right. Babies inside of babies inside of babies.
Life is beautiful.
You, sir, in the green shirt. Oh, yes, the Pokemon that is constantly bouncing because that's how it
adorable.
powers its heart.
Yeah. How does Spoink even still exist? How is it not extinct?
The moment that you put it into a Pokeball, it stops bouncing. But Judith,
Yes?
Spoink bouncing is how it has a heartbeat.
I don't know, your Pokeball just must be shaking up and down constantly.
But what if I wanted to give Spoink a hug?
Then you're just Darwining it out of existence and you shouldn't hug it.
Okay.
Evolve it into Grumpig real fast so it can have legs.
I hope that answered your question, even though you didn't have a question. You over there with the multicolor hair.
Sorry, I'm even a little late, so I'm sure I already covered this. Sorry, but what about the human ghosts?
Yeah, we did talk
Yeah,
about that.
Yamask, the one that started out.
Like, when you go up the elevator and actually walk.
Oh, the human
Oh,
ghosts.
the ghosts that are actually people ghosts.
They love putting those in the games. Ever since Red and Blue, where someone was just like, yeah, that white hand on your shoulder, it must be nothing.
I'm sorry, what?
Anyway, bye. Did you know that you can buy things at a Pokemart?
Wait, go back to that thing about the hand.
Did you know that Pikachu can be found in Viridian Forest? Anyway, bye. That gets a lot creepier in later games,
Actually,
too.
I'm really glad you brought that up because we rarely even think about that. There are ghosts that are people, but there are Pokemon ghosts that were people, but there are ghosts that actually are people. Mm-hmm. Are those Pokemon?
No, those are really weird Pokemon if they are. Maybe they're just all Dittos.
Oh, Ditto is a whole nother can of worms.
Okay, well, but
We're not going to deal with that. Who else has a question? You, sir, all the way in the back. Oh, yes, the Pokemon that's literally just a corpse. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And when you send it into battle, what's right there in your face?
Who doesn't know what we're talking about right now? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Shedinja is a Pokemon from the 3rd generation of games. It is a bug ghost.
It evolves
from a bug in the way
ground type.
a bug ground type in the way that bugs normally do. It has a
Nincada.
It has a shell. It pops out, and you get this really beautiful ninja Pokemon. It's super fast. I believe it's the fastest Pokemon in the game.
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
No.
Oh, it used to be the fastest Pokemon in the game, but if you happen to have a spare spot on your belt and a Pokeball in your bag,
Then Nincada's shed skin, the skin that it crawled out of when it evolved into Ninjask,
gains life
gains life.
and joins your team. So there is now a corpse in my belt.
Yes, Shedinja never changes its expression, never really moves, just floats there.
And if you stare into the opening in its back that
It has a big hole in its back where
Ninjask came out
Yes.
of, and if you look at it, you die.
Yep, you lose your soul instantly. It goes into Shedinja.
So when you start a battle with Shedinja, first of all, you monster, it faces away from you. Which
what you're
means
looking
that
at.
the big old hole on its back is looking right at you. So the moment you start a battle with Shedinja on your team, you die.
You're a soulless jerk.
And also you die.
Yes.
You again. Ah, yes, Abra. The one day a child woke up and it was an Abra.
Wait, I thought it was a Kadabra.
Kadabra's entry specifically, Kadabra's entry specifically states, one day a child woke up and it was a Kadabra.
It was a kid in a fursuit.
It,
That's all that just doesn't happen.
so yeah, there's no explanation for it other than it happened. Congratulations, your son is now a Pokemon.
It's in our scientific texts. It must have really happened. Yeah,
and also it has a spoon.
It has a spoon, and when it evolves, it gets another spoon.
And then when it evolves again, it gets 3 more spoons.
Only 3 more? It looked like a spoon army.
Yeah, 5 is an army. 1 more and you have a full team of Pokemon. And they're all spoons.
Oh, come on, there is no spoon. Yeah, I can't come up with how that happened. Maybe Arceus did it, but wait, no, Arceus was captured by a 10-year-old.
There is no God, there is no afterlife, there is only Pokemon.
Yes. So obviously this child despaired and woke up as a Pokemon so that he wouldn't feel bad anymore.
And then his mom came in, because there are no dads in the Pokemon world, and I couldn't hear what you
He
did.
said they all died in the war.
Oh, we're not getting into that. He's not your dad.
Also, in Generation 3, your dad is a gym leader, and he is a deadbeat and a jerk and neglectful, and he loves his big fat sloth more than you.
That's not your...
And then he left.
You don't
Oh,
have a
hey,
dad.
hey, you. I remember. You're my kid, right? Yeah, okay, here. You ever see a legendary Pokemon? No? Here, go see one, okay? Bye. Bye, just go. Go anyway.
So, yeah, I think that covers most of everything. Well, I think we have time for one more burning question.
No, we've got 15 minutes.
Oh, we have 15 minutes.
Yeah, isn't this panel an hour?
It is.
Is it? Yeah, we have 15 minutes.
Cool. Okay. You, sir, up here with the... I can't see what your shirt is. It's got a crown on it. I like it.
No worries.
Yes.
Yes,
Everything
definitely.
is Pokemon.
everything.
The food you eat, your best friend at school, your teachers,
Your parents.
parents, the road workers,
Everything to do with your religion, if you have
everything
one.
and everyone is Pokemon.
Our common ancestor is Pokemon.
Yes,
Ashes to ashes, Pikachu
ashes
to Pikachu.
to ashes? Really? You, sir, beardy friend, you had your hand up. Witness me. I live, I die, I live again, gotta catch 'em all. I
pretty
mean,
great.
that's not a terrible explanation. I hate it was all a dream theories and coma theories and things like that, but honestly, there's not much else to go on.
Valhalla theory is way cooler than coma
It
theory.
does sound a lot better.
Okay, good, yeah.
You haven't asked a question yet.
What about Pokemon that eat other Pokemon? Would the 10-year-old Pokemon trainer be responsible for unleashing like a Charizard or a little grass?
Well, animals eat animals all the time in this world, so that's not too unusual.
Yeah, but she's talking about a trained Pokemon being put into battle with something it eats naturally.
Oh.
Like Bounsweet, the Pokemon that all other Pokemon just can't help but trying to eat because it smells so good. What
It
does
does
it do when
smell
it gets
really
put
good.
into battle with anything? Literally anything. What happens?
Well, I imagine you put it back in the ball really quickly because otherwise you're a monster.
There are a lot of monsters here.
That's
Yeah,
very
see?
true. I don't actually have an answer for that other than life finds a way. The gentleman in the green shirt behind you.
He had a sand razor well.
Forgot the first one, I'll think of it in a second. But how is James from the anime not half digested by now when Carnivine and Victory Bell seem to like to snack on him?
These people can take a lot of punishment, like we
People
said.
are very sturdy in Pokemon.
Yeah, in Sun Moon anime, he's regularly poisoned by Marini to the point where his skin changes color because she likes the way it looks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did cover about how people can withstand a lot more in the Pokemon world than they can in this human world, as mentioned by that Team Rocket member who took a hyper beam to the face.
I wish they'd let us do that in the game.
All the way in the back with the yellow shirt. Right, because people aren't worth it. People aren't worth it. And they're really not so much police officers as they are mall cops that walk around in the daytime.
Yeah. Even in Sun and Moon, the cops admit that. They're like, it's so peaceful here. We just basically stand in the station all day. Seems like nobody does anything about that.
We don't know if it actually drops them or eats them or just phases into oblivion with them.
Or absorbs them,
Or
and that's
absorbs. I thought
an
that they
invul.
ate them.
It might just steal their life force and then evolve into Driftbloom.
And then drop the body.
Yeah.
Well, but by then it's too late.
Maybe they just fly over the ocean to drop the body.
Oh, so then the fish have something to eat.
That's right.
Okay.
Nature.
Okay.
Nature.
You haven't asked.
Waluigi.
Waluigi, you're next. That
Who?
guy way back there.
Who? Oh, hello. Wait, what about Hot Whale Order and Skitty
I want you
Action?
to stand up and say that loudly so that everyone can hear the words that just came out of your mouth. They're both mammals. Get
Were you
your head out of the
paying
gutter.
attention in health class? Please pay attention in health class.
When a cat and a whale really love each other. Waluigi, you had your hand up. You got to do it in the voice, though.
No.
Okay.
Are you not intimidated by Nuzleaf's nipples? That's how he gets a reputation
we
for
used
himself
to-
out there in the wild.
We used to cover Milk Drink, the attack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to know something about
Want to know
Milk Drink?
something about Milk Drink? The move that used to be exclusive to Miltank? Go-Goat can learn it.
The only difference between that is all Miltank are female, but Go-Goat have a 50% gender ratio.
Yeah, yeah. You and then the pink shirt.
Who's you?
This guy in the front.
Hello.
So, how does Smeargle use his paintbrush tail? How does it always have ink? And how does it...
Oh, the ink is blood.
Oh. But no, that's only with the shiny one, because usually it's green. It's usually green ink, so I thought it was just...
It has green blood.
Oh, I thought it was just pooping.
Life finds a way. That's
Yes?
I can't think of anything
You
funnier
wouldn't
than life finds a way.
You wouldn't understand unless you were a very talented artist, all right? It's just beyond plebs, all right? Okay.
Pink shirt over here, then this lady in front, and then you, and then that'll be the last question. I knew you were going to bring that up because you mentioned Gardevoir before. No.
You're thinking of a different book that
I'm
was
totally
in that
thinking
library.
of a different book that was in that library.
Well, then obviously he's an outcast.
Right. So is Pokophilia. People are really durable in Pokemon. We've already covered this. They're not... Right.
Well, obviously his hip would disagree with you about being indestructible, but
You with the wolves shirt.
well, what about that?
What about that specifically? Because those Pokemon are specifically modified from things. Oh, because science. Like, what reason does science have for anything, first of all?
We love these creatures. They're our friends. Genetic experimentation is a sign of friendship.
I guess that's about as deep into that as we could possibly get.
Well,
Yeah,
don't
I
forget,
mean...
Mewtwo murdered everyone who created him, so
Yeah,
they had their
that was a
comeuppance.
thing. Yeah. And
I don't know about Genesect
Genesect is created as a weapon.
as a weapon. And then what does it do?
It
How
lives-
does it wind up in the on the loose for you to catch it as a 10-year-old?
How did Mewtwo wind up on the loose?
He murdered everybody.
How does Genesect wind up on the loose?
He murdered everybody?
There you go.
Okay, he does have a really big gun.
He does have a really big gun.
Yeah, I would not invent a really big gun and then give it an angry brain.
Last question.
Okay, so we've said several times in this panel that 10-year-old is when you get your first Pokemon.
Yes.
Theoretically, except for the preschoolers.
So I was going to say, why are we fighting preschoolers? How do they get their Pokemon?
Fake ID.
I guess everyone does look younger in Japan.
Everybody in this universe is super gullible. They believe anything you tell them. Like I said,
And the cops don't exist.
yeah, the Bible that they live by, the thing that tells them everything about Pokemon, was written by a child who was sent to go gather that information by an old man who was too lazy to do it himself. People take it as word.
So we're getting a big old sign that says 5 minutes left,
Okay.
but my clock does say 5 minutes left. I guess we have time for more questions. My beardy friend from before.
So, we had a discussion last night. We never were able to finish it. Is Pikachu technically a mammal? There are all kinds of things.
Yes, it's a mammal.
Of
Yeah,
course Pikachu's a mammal. He's fuzzy and
and a mouse.
a mouse.
He's a mammal that can shoot lightning, but he's still a mammal. Yeah. You all the way back there.
Well, I haven't watched a lot of anime, but I did see the movie, and there is one or two movies. What do you guys have to say about the unknown?
The
The unknown.
the unknown, the letter Pokemon. Well, they're definitely just there in the game for collectability.
Dangerous alphabet soup.
Dangerous alphabet
Yeah.
soup.
The movie made them seem so cool. They are such a disappointment in the game.
I really think that Unknown was there to introduce hidden power as a move.
Yeah, or so that you could spell your name out with your team.
Sucks to be you if you don't have, if you have
Bless you.
more than 6 letters in your name.
I'm good.
Me too.
Yay.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything about the Unknown except for what if my grammar lesson came to life and started fighting me? Yeah,
Maybe that's where the English language came from studying unknown who were trying to communicate with people. I don't know.
That explains why English is so broken.
Yeah, because a bunch of crazy psychic alphabet soup monsters came and taught us how to talk.
You here again with the crown on your jacket. Yes. Right?
Yes.
They have English over there.
Probably because Japanese characters would have been more confusing to interpret.
Really difficult
because,
to, and that would have been its own Pokemon generation.
Yeah, and because I think by Gold and Silver they recognized that the game was going global and that English is more of a global language than Japanese. Also, it would be more challenging to the Japanese players who all have to take English in school and should be studying. So yeah, it works for everybody, for the dumb Americans who won't bother to learn another language to read the unknown, and for Japanese students who have to learn English, and if they want to know what the unknown are saying, they need to learn how to read it. That's just a guess. Anybody else? Yes?
I keep thinking about, like, back in the days of Blue and Red, the fastest Pokemon was Electric. And then I started thinking about its moveset, and I remember Explosion. So, is Electron just being raised to be like a suicide bomber or something?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's famous for. That's what it does if you look at it the wrong way.
They use it in Gold and Silver as a charge battery, and the only way for you to stop it is to fight it
And make it blow up.
and make it blow
I
up.
think those ones are more likely to blow up too. I hated fighting those so much.
It was
But if
pretty
you send
dumb.
a ghost type out at it, then it just wastes his entire life right before your face. That's right, then it becomes a ghost. But will it become a human ghost or will it become a Pokemon ghost? What even makes the difference? We don't know.
All the way back there.
Which god? Oh, Yveltal?
Is it the bacon bird?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's the
bacon
bacon
bird.
bird. That's the Yveltal.
So it's based on Norse mythology.
Yeah. I don't know exactly the creature it's based off of, but it's based on the bird that nests in the tree of life called Yggdrasil in Norse mythology. But I think Yveltal himself is supposed to be the god of death because he dies over and over again, and whenever he comes to life, he genocides an entire region. And then he's like, all right, I feel great, and flies off.
I mean, that's how I feel when I wake up in the morning, too. Nothing like a good, healthy apocalypse to get the real blood flowing.
Yeah, when I woke up at 8 o'clock after staying up until 2 last night, and I had the power to genocide a whole bunch of people, I probably would have.
And on that note, thanks for coming to our panel.